Hello, dear friends. We're happy to welcome you on Allatra TV Middle East. And today we have a special guest with us. But before the introduction, I would like to address our viewers. Please feel free to share your comments and suggestions on our live chat box on YouTube channel. And the most interesting one will be asked in the end of the live broadcast. Also, don't forget to share your vision of the creative society and to ask your friends to share their ideas by posting this video with hashtags Creative Society and allatraunites in social media. Also, for those who joined us today for the first time, I would like to say that on the platform of Allatra International Public Movement, a unique project has been launched, which is called the Creative Society. And people from more than 180 countries around the world every day conducting social surveys, interviews to find out how every person sees the creative society, a society in which everyone is feeling happy and live prosperously in all spheres of life. And I'm happy to welcome my co-host, Alina. Hello.
Hi there. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Anya. And dear viewers, I would like to remind you as well that through these broadcasts, we are also testing the theory of 6 handshakes. This is a social theory according to which all people on Earth are connected through 5 or fewer social connections only. And we are successfully testing this theory. So basically, we came to the conclusion that it's working even better. So with contemporary technology, 2 to 3 connections are enough to reach any person in the world. And as a confirmation that this theory is working, today with us we have an amazing guest from Dubai, Meetu, who was invited by one of our guests from previous shows. Hello, Meetu, how are you?
Hi, I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an excitement and joy for me to be here with you, beautiful ladies. So thank you.
Thank you, Meetu. We know that Meetu is a master of energy, healing, sound therapist, and self-love mastery guide. This is very interesting, actually. Meetu, please tell us what drives you in life. Why did you choose this occupation, and what does it give to you?
Oh, well. So my answer is really simple. Um, on my journey, I discovered, and my whole life has been, what I do is I heal with love. I literally believe that what is missing on this planet is love, and that the lack of love is what is causing all the pain and suffering in the world, whether it's from ourselves or what we did not receive from our family, from our friends, from society as collective. So my mission, my vision is really to heal the planet with love. And I began that with myself, and it really drives my soul. It drives my heart to see people smile, to shift on a deeper level, not just on a superficial surface level. I'm not an entertainer, even though I try to be, but I want to see significant changes that I experience in my life to make this world a beautiful place filled with love, connection, joy, peace, harmony, because I believe that's why we're here. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what I do, and that's why I called my company Heal with Love.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It's really beautiful words, and just you are so inspiring to saying about love and happiness. So, how do you think? What is happiness? Is it a matter of choice for a person, or it depends on circumstances around us?
Lovely question. So personally, I believe that happiness is a choice. We can make this choice daily. We are not victims of our circumstance. We have the choice to choose happiness. However, the way the society or us, we have been conditioned and we have been working, we have experienced situations in our life which makes us believe that our inner happiness is governed by our external society, by experiences, by whether we have money, we have love, we have all of these things that are external. but really, and all masters and teachers who've come before me and, have said and taught that the happiness is actually inside, and it's a daily choice of how you see your life. The issue with that is that you have to find that happiness within yourself. It's not on the outside. If I am not happy, fulfilled, and enjoy, there is nothing that I can do to give you that. So I would like to take a very small example, like for me, happiness, it might sound a very feminine example, but to me, what gives me the max happiness, okay, is being around colors and flowers. Okay, so what I do is I try my best to keep myself around those. So what it does is gives me this inner sense of joy all the time. When I have that happiness, I'm able to spread that happiness, as compared to if I was in sadness, in pain, in stress, then I can't have this energy. I cannot give that energy. So I truly believe that happiness is an inner journey. It is an inner choice. And even if you're going through challenges, you can choose to be happy. And that is a process by choosing thoughts and emotions that elevate your energy, that take you to that vibration, which is of happiness, which is a higher vibration.
Thank you so much. It's a very beautiful understanding, and it's an awesome choice to be happy within yourself every time and to bring this happiness to the world. And as we are talking about the project Creative Society, and Creative Society is a society of happy people, the society where everyone feels happy. How do you envision such a society? Can you please describe it? What is a creative society to you?
Okay, so for me, creative society, I'm gonna say this. Being always happy is not possible. Okay, this might sound contradictory, but being always happy is next to impossible, because what is happiness? It's an emotion, right? It's the result of the emotions and feelings we experience. And feelings in itself are always changing, shifting. So to be happy, to have a happy society, my take is that we need to really face ourselves. We need to face when we are not happy. We don't need to run away from those emotions, those times when we are feeling darkness, when we are going through anxiety, fear, suffering, grief, sadness, anger. All of these emotions have become, they have been rejected, they have been suppressed, they have been repressed. And we run towards happiness. And that is in itself contradictory. What it does, it creates resistance. So what we actually, if you really want to discover and be happy, you need to experience everything. You need to make it acceptable. So today, if I'm sad, I don't try, and this is what the society, or I have learned through conditioning. Oh my God, don't be sad. I'm sure you would relate to this. Don't be sad. Let it go. So let's say we're women here. Let's say you had a breakup. What happens? Oh, just ignore, let it be. He was a bad guy. Let's move on. Let's go drink. Let's do something. We try to distract ourselves and run away from that pain. But in essence, that pain is really, really deep. So we don't need to run away from it. We need to sit with it. We need to acknowledge it. We need to process, heal, release. The moment that will happen, naturally your frequency will come to acceptance, to happiness, to joy, because you've healed that from within. Now, to have a happy society, each one of us needs to be in balance and harmony. Right? Because if we are not healed, whole, happy, if we don't love ourselves, it is impossible to create a society. It will be very superficial. So my take is that if we focus on ourselves, of raising our vibration and being that person who's authentic, who's genuine, who believes in goodness, who's here to serve in one way or another, then I think that we can really create a society. I would also like to take a very simple example, that I experience every day, how we can do very little and create a change in our current society. So let's say we live in Dubai, and we know Dubai is a very service-orientated place. As a cabin crew, I had 12 years of traveling around the globe, and I've experienced different cultures, and I've gone all over the world. And this was my biggest passion, meeting people. I love people. And what I observed is that in Dubai, we have the best customer service. You can get everything you want. But at the same time, there's a big disconnect with people. So let's take an example. You go to a Carrefour, right? And I've noticed all the time, this girl working there, you know, one after another, customers keep coming and she keeps paying. And if somebody is taking a little bit longer, you even see frustration on people's faces. Am I right? But nobody ever stops and says, you know what? How are you doing? How's your family today? She doesn't have time to breathe. What I do is I always stop. I always address them by their name. I say, how are you doing? How's your family? Is everything okay? And I not just ask for the heck of it. I take that moment because for me, that's a sacred moment to make a little difference in this girl's life, in this guy's life. And I do that with whoever I cross paths with. And this is a very simple example, you know, but I think in that moment, this person feels appreciated, feels seen. Because what is missing, people really want to be validated. They want to be seen. Everything we do on this planet is because we all want to be seen, right? It's a billion-dollar industry where people are running after one another to be seen, to be heard. And just to make that difference to a human, I think is life-changing. And I believe in doing that every single day. I don't get tired. And, you know, something as simple as that, you know, bringing that connection into each other's life.
So like to be attentive to people around you, to recognize that you are not on the earth and that there are people around you as well, and each human life is valid, each person is valid. And that's exactly what we are missing in our society. I feel the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just would like to ask you, we are talking about happiness. So how do you think which conditions should be created in our society so that really all people could feel comfortable and could feel happy? Like, or which spheres we need to start with to create such conditions?
In which spheres did you say?
Yes, like which conditions in society so every person in the world will feel comfortable and will be happy?
So I think it begins. My take would be that we all should become more open. We should become more acceptable and drop judgments. You know, we are constantly judging each other of who, what is, and you know, culture, society, all of this. If we bring in the element of non-judgment, right, accepting whoever is in front of us and seeing without any labels, you know, not knowing, I don't care what country I come from, what country you come from, but I see more similarities in you than differences. If we come from this mindset that, you know, at the end of the day, you and I have more similarities than differences, and accepting that the beauty is in our differences, that we each are unique. And another thing is that, you know, we're so quick to react in our society. You know, if somebody is angry, if somebody is upset, you want everybody to be happy all the time. If we take a step back and we think, you know, I don't know why this person is grumpy today, maybe what is we never know what the person is going through behind the screens. We have these beautiful smiling faces. You know, I've been in 20 years of my career, I've been in front of people all the time, and people can't tell what I'm going through, you know, and I see that with people all the time. People don't stop to acknowledge each other. You say, hi, how are you? And you don't even stop for me to reply. You know, I've seen this in corporate so much. Hey, how are you? All good? That's it. And you move on with daily business. So I believe that just taking some time to find stillness, and again, that begins with ourselves, to acknowledge the person in front of you, to drop judgments, to begin to see more similarities, and to bringing these values in corporates, you know, because competition is not serving us. We're not here to compete. We have to co-create. We have to understand that everybody on this planet, every single soul is important. Everything that they are doing, from an engineer to a doctor to a toilet cleaner to a healer to a coach to I don't care who, I don't care what you do, but you are an important part of this big puzzle. I see it like this: a big garden, right? You see this flower arrangement. I always explain to my clients, this flower arrangement, every flower is playing a role. And if we were to remove one flower from that place, it will lose its charm. The garden will not be the same anymore. And this is how we humans are. And I believe the shift is really needed in these beliefs of ourselves, in these moral values, in this acceptance. It is not on the external. We don't need more money. We don't need more, all of that is working on its own. It is the value system that needs to change, to be more compassionate, to be more understanding, to be more judgment. And maybe we should have more such societies where we invite people to be themselves, to not have this fake mask on all the time of being happy. Because happiness, the more you try to be happy, the more it runs away from you. But if you can be you, just the way you are, happiness comes knocking at your door, because finally somebody gave you the permission to be you and accepted you for who you are, irrespective of you being sad or whatever. So when that happens, an alchemy, a transformation happens, and the happiness, the joy begins to come from within. If one person is happy, I believe that we affect a huge community. We affect our society in a big way.
Absolutely, so beautifully said, really. And Meetu, as you mentioned, you've been traveling all over the world, and you've met so many people. Can you please tell us what unites all people on Earth? What unites all of us, despite nationalities, races, religions? What is that universal grain which unites all people?
Oh my God, I love this question. I absolutely love this question. Let me share a little story about this. So I used to fly for about 12 years. I flew in different airlines, and I always wondered, I met these different people from everywhere, and I was always intrigued, how everybody's hair was different, our skin was different, the food we ate was different. I was always intrigued, and I always looked for this. What is it that everybody wants? What is it that everybody is seeking through these jobs, through these experiences, everything? And the answer that came to me was everybody wants love. Everybody needs to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to be received as they are. They want to be accepted. This was my biggest learning. And it was life-changing for me, because I myself was seeking that. So what I made my mission was, and it came so naturally to me, Alina, really, my whole life, I've been this person who wanted to make people happy. And I didn't know, I didn't have any tools. I was not, I didn't know this is what I was going to do in my life later. So every job I did, I listened to people. I gave them reassurance. And people naturally came and shared their problems. And all I did when I had no tools, I just listened to them, and I told them everything is going to be okay, or whatever the situation asked. But I realized that everybody needs love and appreciation. This is what connects us. There is nothing else that connects us on that deep level. Nothing else. Nothing. Love is what connects us. And to be seen.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Thank you.
It's just wonderful words. Thank you.
Tears in my eyes when I say that, because it's so profound for me. It was a life-changing experience for me, experiencing this, and I cannot express to you how blessed I am to call this my work. I get to create big groups where I ignite, in a way, this feeling of love and connection. And when people come to my circles, to my sessions, they actually feel that. And that in itself is healing. The lack of that has been keeping people from connection, not feeling that connection with themselves. So for me, this is my life's mission. It gives me so much joy to bring that to people in all the work that I do and share. So thank you for bringing this to your audience and to whoever is going to see this.
Thank you. Thank you a lot for beautiful words. And just also would like to ask, how do you think, what is the role of a woman in building and creating this society where every person will be happy?
Oh my God, you ask such amazing questions, Anya. Wow. So this is again my one of my most favorite questions. You know, women, I can talk about this for like, you know, the cows come home, as the Britishers say, for maybe 2 days. Women, as women, we play such an important role in creating how our society is. We are examples, we are leaders of who we stand for, what we are, right? Because we inspire children, we inspire our men. So it's time that we own our power. And you know what? We don't need to become men. This is one of the things that I really want to bring to women. To be powerful, to be a goddess, to be a woman in all your essence, you don't need to become a man. All you need to do is be a full woman, to experience all your emotions, to own who you are, to encourage other women, to support your man, to be the pillar of love, to be the pillar of all the things that he's good at. And not just a particular man in your life, but any man, right? Men today are also suffering because they have not received love, affection, connection the way they have been pushed into the world where they're really fighting battles every day, and they don't have a place to come back to nurture. As a woman, our job is to nurture, to create this amazing environment where everybody can grow. So as women, we are leaders of feelings, emotions, intuition, guidance, flow. And the time is really, we are in that era where we have to own our gifts and power, which comes directly from God. We are made to create. You know, our bodies are creating every day. We're creating projects. You give a woman a house, she will create a beautiful home. You give a woman, my beautiful friend says this all the time, you give woman some groceries, she'll create a meal. So woman is the creator, and we need to acknowledge that with ourselves so that the society, you can be an example of that. And that's when men, you know, men will trust you and align with you. There's a big culture going on where women are constantly looking for boyfriend, partners, blah, blah, blah. All men are bad. All of this going on in the world is not needed. If you really believed yourself, if you really trusted, loved yourself in every cell of your being, every man would want to be with you. This is my guarantee. Every man would want to be with you. You don't need to chase them. But we act from our own insecurities, the inner void. So my message to women is to find yourself, discover yourself, heal your wounds, and connect with the essence of love, compassion, the powerhouse of energy that you are, so that you can be a true leader, a true goddess who can share and change the world, whether it's in a small circle, it's in your family unit, at work, or the whole planet. And that's my message.
Thank you, Meetu. Thank you so much for mentioning about that creative nature of every woman and how easy it is to wake up this energy within yourself. And you know, as we are discussing now, the creative society is something that really every person on earth needs today. And to create such a society, we should be united by the same goal. And what is our goal? Is to build a society where everyone feels happy, where everyone has possibility to feel this love and to develop and to become happy and to be also a good member of such a society by bringing your best talents and gifts to other people, to the society. So the basis of our goal are 8 foundations of creative society. And we would like to introduce them to our viewers. Maybe we can see them on the screen now. Yes, right. So for those viewers who don't know yet and want to know more, please visit the website allatraunites.com. There you can find an article, The Foundations of the Creative Society and the Stages of its Construction, which was published in May 2020. Today I will read these foundations for our viewers. The Creative Society stands on 8 pillars. The first and the most important one is human life. The second one is human freedom. The third one is human safety. The fourth one is transparency and openness of information for all. The fifth one is the creative ideology. The sixth one is development of personality. The seventh one is justice and equality. And the eighth one is self-governing society. So maybe let's talk about the fifth foundation. What do you think? Because we already started to discuss it before our show.
Did you say the fifth?
Yes, I just would like to continue about fifth foundation, which is the creative ideology. So I just will read it out and we will be very happy to hear your comment on that. So ideology should be aimed at popularizing the best human qualities and stopping everything that is directed against a human. The main priority is the priority of humanity, high spiritual and moral aspirations of a human, humanness, virtue, mutual respect and strengthening of friendship. So, in your opinion, how important is to multiply humanity, human values, and what changes will bring to the society if it will prevail in our media, art, music?
Well, so it is, like I said earlier, the most important thing as human beings is connection, is love, right? And to experience that, we need to focus on the values of compassion, kindness, acceptance, non-judgment, right? Universal growth, growing together as a community, as connection instead of separation. And it's really very important that we go into sharing this connection with each other, right? Supporting groups and cultures and teenagers. And so the focus has to become the value system. Because if you are doctrined into a certain belief, then you're not going to change. So the change needs to begin from, like when you're a kid. And I believe that spiritual expansion, spiritual knowledge is very important role. By doing yoga, meditation, breathing, all of these practices, naturally begins to shift something on a cellular level for people. It starts to change how you believe, how you feel, how you sense and receive the world. And if we could start teaching that to people, inviting, I've been to corporates and done many events, and I realized that people felt very disconnected. It was only about work, but when just doing a little breathing and meditation and yoga starts to change something within them. So to change the society at large, we need to shift our value system to that of non-judgment. And I keep coming back to that of love. Love is not just, a feeling that we share with each other, but it's understanding that it originates and it's the thread that connects each one of us. So dropping away the competition mindset and instead growing together universally. And the value system has to be of compassion, of love, of non-judgment, of acceptance, accepting each other. And when I'm sure you know about this Maslow's chart, the pyramid. When we have our basic needs met, when we have love, acceptance, joy, our creativity rises. So we go to the top of the pyramid when we have all of these basic needs met. The sense of connection actually empowers and opens our creative channels. So when there is not just one way of doing things, we can expand our outlook and create societies where we grow our own food, where we live differently, where we create ecosystems and cultures where you don't just have to work in an industry. So the creativity of the general population is going to start, and that is happening a lot around the planet, more right now than ever before. We're going back to where we came where we came from, really.
Exactly. And so many understandings you brought up in your answer, because first of all, like we should think universally, like we should think about the society as a whole. And that's so much important. And also that we can really develop, and then our basic needs are covered. Then we don't need to be afraid of what we are going to eat tomorrow, or where are we going to live. So I also envision a society where all basic needs are covered, and then every person has a chance to develop and to earn more, to bring his or her talent back to the society. And this is the way how we can develop all of ours. And of course, then you spoke about bringing this understanding as from childhood. It reminded me of yesterday's conference of students. We participated, me and Anya, as jury members, and the topic of this conference was yoga is the important way for mental and physical health. So basically, there were students of 9 and 12 grade, and they spoke about the values of mental health, the values of focus, the values of feeling what you feel, how you feel your body, how you feel what is happening in the consciousness. And they were so young, and they were talking about such understandings from the age of 13, 14 years old, that it was obvious that if we bring these to the attention of kids from this age, by the age of adult, they are full members of this society. They can really understand better what is going within them and how it influences the society in whole. So these are very important understandings. Thank you so much. And would you like to talk about another foundation we introduced, like we said human life, human freedom, human safety, transparency and openness of information for all, creative ideology we discussed, development of personality, justice and equality, and self-governing society. Maybe you choose another one you like.
So I would like to talk about development of personality. Okay. And what comes to me when I think of this word, it sounds like a very psychological term, development of personality, right? It is a very psychological term. What is my dream is to have every human being on this planet understand what is self-love. So we, now this term is even becoming a little bit famous, and people are beginning to understand. 10 years ago, Elena and Anya, I didn't know what self-love meant. I had no idea. I was like, self-love? Yeah, but other people need to love me. What do you mean I love myself? And I speak with so many women and men, and self-care is not self-love. It is self-loving, but understanding what is self-love will change you as a person and the planet at large. Why? Because it hones your personality. So self-love basically is acceptance, loving every bit of ourselves and accepting just as the way we are, that understanding that God created us perfectly. But what happened for most of us human beings currently on the planet is that our parents didn't know what is self-love. So we were taught to compromise on who we were, to seek validation from others, to be a certain way in the society, instead of acknowledging our own unique individuality, creativity, our own unique ways our bodies, our hearts, our minds, our hair, our face, our nose was made. Right? And this is a huge part of what our self-esteem is based on. So people who don't have self-love, they don't have self-esteem. Higher self-esteem also means high confidence. So when you love yourself fully, you know who you are, you understand your gifts, you accept yourself for weaknesses, then you don't need this validation from others. You don't need to go on this endless search of of receiving love, validation, material, blah blah blah, to feel successful. You can be in your little flower corner and you can feel successful and happy and joyous. So what is really needed, and for women especially, we have been conditioned over hundreds and thousands of years to hate ourselves, to hate our bodies, to dislike ourselves. There's not a single woman I know on this planet, and I'm sure you both will agree, who 100% loves herself. There is something constantly wanting to be changed. If we just change or transform the women to fully love, accept themselves as they were born, because God created us perfect. If God needed to make any alteration, He would have. So whatever you believe in. So every woman, if accepted ourselves for who we were, then imagine the society we will create. Imagine our personalities would be shining, glowing, radiant, expanding from love. And that is what we will bring to the culture, instead of trying to grab and, all of those things that we operate from when we are not in self-love. So my biggest teaching is teaching men and women. Men also need to understand what is self-love and to heal themselves and heal their wounds from within. And all of these wounds that I'm talking about are emotional issues. Men, little boys were taught not to cry. Little boys were told always, you are the man of the family, you need to be strong. But did you ever go and ask, what is he feeling? What is he going through? How much pressure he has? I have many clients, and I have men who break down in front of me because they were never seen that there's a little boy inside of them. So honoring that and really becoming aware of self-love will raise our vibration, will raise the vibration of this planet and change the society at large, because our personalities then will completely change.
Thank you. Thank you a lot for your answer. It's really very important to develop the best your qualities and understand yourself. I just also wanted to shortly read this 6 foundation of the creative society, development of personality. Every person in the creative society has the right to comprehensive development and personal fulfillment. Education should be free and equally accessible to all, creating conditions and expanding opportunities for a human to implement his or her creative abilities and talents. So yes, it's very important to understand yourself and to develop the best your talents and abilities. Thank you a lot. I also would like, yes. I also would like to.
Sorry, Anya. I also wanted to ask Meetu, how do you see the education of the creative society? As Anya now read the description of this foundation, and the education plays an important role in building any society. Can you please describe how do you feel the education in the society of happy people?
Absolutely. Again, another one of my favorite topic, because the change really needs to begin in how we educate our children and how we were educated. Now, let me ask you a question. We all have gone to school for about 12 to 14 years, right? School and college, if we add college. 14 years of education, and no one ever taught you how to love yourself. 14 years of education, nobody taught you how to manage your finances, right? We've done so much schooling. Did anyone ever tell you how to manage your finances? What do you do with the money that you earn, right? We learn from our parents, or we learn from society. I struggle with these topics. I went to school, I went to college, and so my understanding is that the schooling system, the education system has to have, we human beings are made of emotions. We need to accept that, because emotions directly affect how you think. We need to understand how our subconscious mind and our conscious mind is always at interplay. teaching kids about subconscious mind, teaching kids how to deal with their own emotions, how to express their emotions, how to love themselves. These are some of the topics that I believe is essential to be started in schools, like yoga, meditation. Again, I will come back to that. Some schools are implementing that already, but really teaching children these things and teaching even adults, I think we should have a school where we can actually go and learn what is self-love. Why do I have so much self-criticism and hatred? Because unless and until we change that from, from the beginning, it's a long journey. You 30-40 years of our life, and then we start to go back and start learning, oh yeah, but I don't love my hands and I don't love my face. So it, how empowered our children will be when they grow up knowing that you don't need to be married to feel whole and complete. You don't need to have Botox to feel whole and complete, but really self-loving empowerment, self-love, financial manifestation, abundance, understanding, creativity, working from intuition. All of these things should be taught in school. We don't need to learn biology and math to the extent that we learn. And I'm not saying, don't learn biology and math. That is essential. But I mean, how many times have you used algebra? I studied math and physics until my 12th grade. How many times in your daily life have you learned used algebra? Never is the answer. But how many times did you have to learn and find out what to do with the money that I have? How can I invest? How can I save, right? And how do I love myself? How do I present myself in the society? How do I speak? How do I carry myself? What do I do in relationships? How to stand up for myself, how to create healthy boundaries with people, how to learn to say no. I mean, the list for me is endless, but I can all cover it under the topic of self-love, because all of these things I teach under the topic of self-love. It's an essential part. And I think if we could use one of these topics in our school, in our education system, we got a good, lead going on there, in my opinion.
Thank you so much. Very important understandings. And I would like to thank our viewers for being so active. And there is a question which we received from Shital Pillai for you. And let's discuss this one because it's very interesting. So the question is, following spiritual path, does it mean changing our day-to-day activities? And here it's interesting, I think, to consider it from the point of view that our day-to-day activities are like our contribution to the society, we see to the also to the family, to everything. So everything what our day consists of, does it change if we decide to follow a spiritual path?
So first of all, thank you, Sheetlu, for asking that beautiful, wonderful question. Again, one of my favorites. I absolutely love these questions. So, let's look at what's going on in our lives right now. We are living in a very fast-paced society. We have been for many, many years disconnected from the spiritual aspect. Spiritual aspect is not out there. Spiritual aspect is right here. What we need to do is, spirituality doesn't mean you go sit on you can do so. You go and sit in a cave or on top of the mountain and renounce the real human world. Spirituality is about bringing these learnings, teachings, powerful wisdom into practical steps in our daily lives. Your life will become blissful when you begin to understand. These are like codes that I understand. Let me give you an example. Until 30 years of my age, I operated as a victim of my circumstances. I struggled, I had lack, I had pain, I had suffering. I was very bright and very good at what I did in my school, but I constantly had to drag myself and strive to be successful, strive to receive the things. And when I understood the spiritual path and how you can manifest with ease, I realized that I don't need to do all of this. I started to apply these spiritual principles, by the way, which are so simple if you understand them. And I brought them to my current life. and I began to be more blissful, peaceful, living in harmony with the current life. But you have to spend some time, right, to bring spirituality into your current life. What has happened is we've become too busy. We've become too outwardly. We need to become more inwardly. We need to spend some time with ourselves, discovering ourselves, taking time and making ourselves important, finding that 10 minutes every day, you know, to bring that spirituality into your daily life. So my long answer is, in a very summarized manner, is that you don't need to leave anything to become spiritual. You need to bring these very simple spiritual tools into your daily life to live a life of more joy, expansion, bliss, abundance, and harmony, and happiness.
Thank you. That just sounds wonderful. And I also would like to ask you, how do you think these 8 foundations of the creative society, how important they are for every person, for our society, for the whole humanity? And how can we, the best ways to inform people about such initiative as the Creative Society project?
Well, I think you guys, first of all, are doing an excellent job. I understand you're on TV, you're on YouTube, you're sharing everywhere, and you're expanding in different countries. So that is absolutely already a great start. And introducing your work to youngsters, I think I keep going back to that place, because this is where our new generation is being honed and created. So if your work reaches children, reaches, teenagers, they will have something, a moral value to fall back upon, which is not connected with religion. Because everybody, if we see the example of Dubai, everybody is going under a different belief. But if we came up with something that is neutral, but is promoting the values of society, which is love, compassion, based on unity, peace, harmony, understanding, non-judgment, in a neutral platform where we don't talk about any religion, we accept and appreciate whatever your beliefs and cultures are, but this is what we promote, then I think that would be a very good platform, to expand and take these values out more into the society. Also, I think women, as women, we're really playing an incredible role. So maybe reaching out to a group of housewives who have a little bit more time than working women, I hope, because I'm not saying that housewives don't work. They work more than I think are working women, but maybe giving them, because it is a big network of ladies out there. So promoting this, this your creative project to them would be a really good idea, also to expanding these values. And women, again, are nurturers. They should also take it to men, really. I don't want to leave men behind. Men have to be right next to us, shoulder to shoulder. I really believe that you guys should spread these messages to corporate. Maybe it's a smaller step and step by step, but that is a huge, even a very small percentage starts to apply, which is happening, then we would have a very changed, aware, conscious society very soon. That's my hope. I'm a dreamer, just like you beautiful ladies.
It's great. And also that you said about that we are all united, well, we belong to different religions, and many people don't belong to any religions at all, but the human values are the same for everyone. And the first huge project of ALLATRA International Public Movement is called Universal Grain. It was a global research. There are volunteers from all over the world. They were researching books, religious books, philosophical books, different knowledges available to us today, as well as they were conducting live social surveys by asking people what unites all of us. And as a result of this research, the volunteers who conducted this research and this project, they came to the conclusion and they made a long film, like as a confirmation of the results of the research, that everywhere, in every philosophical, religious book and every knowledge available to us today, there is the same knowledge of people being equal, people feeling and having this sense of love, people are feeling this necessity to unite and to live in peace and harmony, that people are born to be happy. And also contemporary people in the streets in different countries of the world, then our journalists were asking them this question, they were confirming the same. And this is great because this is already the proof that we are all the same, we are looking for the same values, we want to live happily. And for our viewers who are interested, we will put the link for this film, which is called Universal Grain, below this video. Thank you so much, Meetu. It was a perfect conversation. It was so interesting. It was awesome. So many insights and so many understandings. And our main question for you would be, would you like to live in a creative society?
I think I'm already living in a creative society. I am very, very delighted and happy that you beautiful ladies invited me. And I already feel a part of your creative society. And I believe that in my little small efforts that I do in the world right now, I believe that I'm also contributing to creating this creative society. So thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure to share my insights and also to hear your beautiful work and your beautiful insights and your values.
Thank you so much. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and thank you for sharing your understandings and your feelings with us and with our viewers. And dear viewers, if you would like to participate in our live conversations, or if you would like to join the project Creative Society, it's very easy. You go to the webpage allatraunites.com, you see the red button Join Us. You answer the question how you would like to join. The application is available in different languages. So you leave your contacts for the participants of Allatra International Public Movement, and we will contact you and we will decide together what we can do in order our world becomes a happy place, in order we to build a creative society all together very quickly. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. And please share this broadcast using 2 hashtags, Creative Society and Allatra Unites in social networks, and share your understandings and your envision of the creative society where all people live happily. And we will be very happy to meet you on our live conversations and to hear your opinions. Thank you a lot.
And for those viewers who don't want to speak on TV for any reasons, we also have Allatra Radio. So you can participate in the same broadcast, but on radio. And also you can send us your essays, emails, and understandings how you envision creative society. Because without knowing the opinion of every person on this earth, we will not understand how our society should be. As Meetu mentioned today, you see the field of flowers, and without each flower, the field wouldn't be the full field of flowers. So every opinion, every voice is valid. So please, dear viewers, join us, share your opinion in any way which you like. Thank you everyone for being with us today. Thank you, Meetu, for joining us and for sharing your understandings. Anya, thank you very much. And dear viewers, have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.